Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. It's your boy Luis, and for today's video, we're gonna be talking about Miss USA 2023. I am beyond excited to present to you my top 12 early favorite candidates for the Miss USA competition. Of course, we all know that last year Miss USA won Miss Universe, so the pressure is on for this year's delegates. On top of that, there have been several changes within the Miss USA and Miss Universe organization, so I'm expecting this year of Miss USA to come back really strong. So if you enjoyed this video and find some sort of value in it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and be part of the conversation in the comment section down below. I will see you right after the intro with my top 12 for Miss USA 2023.
Be strong.
Let's get started right away, and I want to start by talking about Miss Pennsylvania. She is a graduate of Immaculata University and a proud woman in tech, working as a client manager for a digital marketing agency. Her entrepreneurial spirit motivated her to also start her own boutique-style digital marketing agency to empower small businesses. So one thing that I really like about these contestants is the spirit of innovation. We can sense that she is a woman that is not only, within a male-dominated industry such as tech, but also who is not scared to be independent, entrepreneurial, and take risks. Jazz is passionate about service, representation, and uplifting women. Her ultimate goal is to make sure others feel seen, heard, and valued in this world. One thing that I will mention is for the advocacy, I would have loved to see a little bit more details to give us concrete examples of how you want to do these things, because to make others feel seen, heard, and valued, there are 1,000 ways to do it. So I would like for her to elaborate a little bit more. My spot 11 goes to Miss North Carolina. She has a deep admiration for self-development and helping others find their divine purpose in life through her campaign of soul approval. Honestly, when I heard this description, immediately grabbed my attention because I wonder what this entire soul approval is all about. She is one of 6 surgical specialists in the country for an innovative procedure that helps women combat uterine fibroids. She has a passion for empowering women in healthcare and the corporate world. Now, one thing that I really find interesting about Miss North Carolina, for me, she is able to cover both physical and mental aspects, or at least the soul aspect of an individual. And I think that that's a very interesting approach that we don't see very often in pageantry. She wants to help be a driving force for unparalleled support with mental health in schools and form a curriculum for students throughout their entire education. At number 10 on the list, we have to talk about Miss Louisiana. She is a graduate of Nicholls State University and a news anchor at KLFY News 10 in Lafayette, Louisiana. She is an advocate for early detection and screening for cancer in memory of her father. We don't hear so much in pageantry awareness for certain types of cancer for men. She also enjoys bringing show to childhood cancer patients and their families through hospital visits and programs through child life centers. She opens her home fostering for puppies throughout the year and advocates for adoption of animals, hoping to decrease the overcrowding of animal shelters. I like that her advocacy is a bit more general. Of course, she touches on the cancer awareness and support, but she also talks about, animal rights and advocating for them to find loving homes. Now, moving to number 9, we have Miss Hawaii. She is kind of giving me a little bit of urban-y flashbacks because this girl is also half Pinay. She is a professional model, entrepreneur, and a program director for What Makes You Feel Beautiful, which is a non-profit organization. As the co-founder of Eco House, a boutique hotel set to open in Bali in 2024, she is passionate about inspiring young women to step into the field of entrepreneurship. I think that this is a great combination. I mean, I like to see when the girls are multifaceted. They do a lot of things, being a model, entrepreneur, program director, and also having your own nonprofit. That's a lot of things, and it just showcases, that you don't have to limit yourself in life. If you love several things, you can go after all of your dreams simultaneously. I think she took entrepreneurship already to the next level. She is not just doing business within her locality or the country. She is international. At this point, she's dealing in Bali, in Indonesia. So having someone like that mentor other girls, it's extremely beneficial. She is also certified in youth mental health first aid. Just an incredible girl. As I said, a little bit of urban flashbacks with the looks, not necessarily the background, but I think that she is the full package, and I would love to see her go as close as she can get to the crown, and why not even get the crown. Now let's talk about my number 8 on the list, which goes to Nebraska. This girl started dancing at age 3 and went on to win many national awards throughout her career. She attended the University of Nebraska, where she started elementary education and danced as a Husker Scarlet. Within the same institution, she served as the head of the Technique and Skill Club, Choreography Club, Captain. She was the first Husker Scarlet to earn first team All Big Ten. Already what I'm gonna say here, because I hear a lot of the things about her education, what she did while she was in school, the fact that she is a dancer. So for me, this showcase, this is not only a disciplined girl, but it also requires for you to be very competitive. I believe that she will bring the same spirit, the same level of effort and dedication to the national competition at Miss USA. She founded her nonprofit, which is called Project Believe and Achieve, that helps children to unlock their full potential. Again, this is one of those scenarios where I would have loved to have a little bit more details about what does the Project Believe and Achieve does. How do they help kids to reach their full potential? Is it through activities, learning? There are so many different ways to do it. So I would have really appreciated to have more details. Maybe we can learn more about her in the upcoming days. But for now, let's move on to number 7, which goes to Miss Rhode Island. She studied broadcast journalism and entrepreneurial studies. Currently works as a program manager at Amazon Web Services, and she volunteers with Best Buddies, an organization that creates opportunities for people who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. She is also a certified crisis counselor with the Crisis Text Line. She helps connect people who are in active crisis with life-saving resources. And on top of all of that, as if it wasn't enough, she has also published a children's coloring book titled Millie's Many Emotions. She is also a freelance in entertainment journalism. I really like that this girl is doing so much, going as far as being like a published author. Like, she literally has published a book. Overall, I feel like she has a very consistent brand. She was able to really kind of merge perfectly the broadcast journalism part of her background with being a published author, with the freelancer work that she does, but also the entrepreneurial part of it, working as a program manager for Amazon. I have actually seen a lot of people rooting for her, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her crack perhaps even the top 5. To be honest, the competition is really, really stiff this year. I had a bit of a hard time putting all of this list together, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her go even further. Now, right before we get into the top 5, we have to talk about the number 6 on the list, which goes to Miss California. Only look at her and you can already see how outstanding of a beauty this woman is. Everything from the eyes, the makeup, the hairstyling. I just love every bit of this woman. And on top of the God-given looks, she graduated from school with a bachelor's degree in sociology and a minor in psychology. She currently is a sergeant in the Army National Guard, serving her community as a public relations and marketing manager. Huge props to anyone who joins the Army. I think that this is a field that is so demanding, requires so much discipline, so much character, so much investment, that it only speaks volumes about this woman's character. This is very appreciated by American people. So hoping that this will, help her advance in the competition. And I love that she also works as a public relations and marketing manager. This speaks volumes about this girl's comm skills. So I expect her to be very, very eloquent. And on top of that, know how to market herself. So don't sleep on her. I think that California might have a few surprises for us this year. Her grandmother, Marie, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So she became an advocate against this disease to create awareness and support individuals and families dealing with it. I think that she brings everything to the table, from the looks, the background, the education, the profession, the heart, the soul, and even the hobbies. So what else can we ask for? Now, immediately, let's get into my top 5, which goes to Miss Florida. In terms of looks, I find her so beautiful. Like, this woman is just a standout for me. There's nothing crazy over the top going on with the makeup, with the styling. The hair as well is very simple. And I think that honestly, this simplicity really brings out her natural beauty. She is one of those blondes that I will just picture her on a campaign for like Versace or like one of these like luxury brands. And it kind of reminds me of, those glamazons, those beauties of Miss Universe in like the 90s, for example. So I know that Florida, in terms of, the makeup and styling, which sometimes can be a little bit over the top in the US, is not necessarily that. But for me, out of all of the blondes, she's the standout. In terms of her background, she holds a degree in communication and digital media studies and Juris Master from the College of Law. She is a former first grade teacher in her hometown and now serves as a senior legislative aide to a Florida state senator. She had the opportunity, of course, because of her job and her profession with the senator, to work on policies that will better the state of Florida and strives to inspire and empower young women. She has already traveled to 9 different countries throughout her life and has already traveled over 7,500 miles as a Miss Florida USA. So I'm going to say the 9 countries is surprising. It's already like a huge accomplishment, but for me, the 7,500 miles as a Miss Florida USA, it's even more mind-blowing. That only speaks volumes about what she has been doing with the platform that she was given as Miss Florida. Now let's move on to number 4, which goes to Miss Utah. She is an interior design student. She dreams of establishing her own design firm and be a TV show host to give home makeovers to families in need. I remember watching a show like this back in the day when I was a kid, and I just loved that show so much because you could feel the happiness and the energy with the families when they will see their new home. So I love that. For her, she has a bilingual background as a Venezuelan and American, so don't sleep on her. She has the Venezuelan genes. Published her own children's book. So as I said earlier, that's always mind-blowing. We have a few authors in this year's batch. And in terms of her advocacy, she aims to create awareness around dating violence and prevention. And she has been doing so alongside the One Love Foundation. In terms of looks, I think that she has an exceptional look. She really knows how to style herself. She really knows how to, do the makeup, the hair. I think that when she's fully produced, she is breathtaking. And even when she's wearing no makeup, if you go and check out her social media, you will see that she is also a natural beauty. Those eyes are so captivating that I could look at her for days without getting tired. Now let's talk about Miss District of Columbia. In terms of looks, I'm going to say already the thing that I like the most about her is the character. There's something about her face, her look, the way that she connects with the camera that feels very powerful. And for me, that's one of the essential things that we should have in a Miss USA. That's exactly the vibe that I got from Arbonne last year. And this is exactly what Miss District of Columbia is delivering for us this time. Now, in terms of her background, it's quite impressive, and I think she has one of the lengthiest background in the batch. So she is an advocate for cancer awareness as a legislative ambassador with the American Cancer Society. She volunteers with organizations that educate communities on the early signs of cancer with the goal of enabling people to seek treatment at earlier stages. She also works as a digital press secretary in the U.S. House of Representatives and proudly advocates for the Find It Early Act, which we know in the US this is such a huge problem given the health system cost and the insurance policies. It's quite tricky for women, anyone in the US, to get treatment at a low cost and even more free treatment. Talk about like a whole package. This woman has literally everything that it takes to be a Miss USA. I think that she has such a well-rounded background, and on top of that, as I said earlier, with the powerful looks, I think that she could easily get that crown. Moving on to number 2, or my first runner-up on the list, it goes to Miss Oregon. I love how Miss Oregon is such a natural beauty. When I look at her photos, I don't feel like there's any editing, any photoshopping, any enhancement. She shows herself as she is, and she seems so comfortable in her skin that is honestly truly refreshing. For me, this is the way that pageantry is going, especially in the US, where we know that these unattainable beauty standards are currently under attack. Like, it's truly being criticized, and understandably so, because it's very damaging for women. So I love that Miss Oregon really stands on the other side of the spectrum and shows more of, self-love and just accepting yourself the way that you are. She's a professional in the field of physics. She's an actor, a model, an author, and non-profit founder, and the reigning Miss Oregon USA. Just a few things to brag about, right? Since her young age, she always dreamed about becoming an astronaut. And currently, she has worked at 2 different NASA centers in the Orion spacecraft, as well as the White House on science policy. She is now a scientist astronaut candidate training to one day conduct research in space. So how crazy is that? To think that a possible Miss USA will one day make it to space that's just mind-blowing. Fun fact, she was also part of the Brown Skin Girl music video with Beyonce, none other than Queen Bee, Queen of Everything, Queen of the Universe. And she also was a part of a shooting with Sports Illustrated Swim. As well as some of the other candidates that we talked about earlier, she has published a children's book, and she is an advocate for gender equality and inclusion, which, as I said earlier, I think it goes very on brand with the way that she presents herself, especially on social media. So I love this. She is extremely consistent, and I would actually love to see someone like her hold the title of Miss USA. What about you? Now the time has come to reveal my number one pick on the list, which goes to Miss New York. I mean, I only want you to look at this photo and just picture her in any ad of any like luxury brand. She can be a spokesperson, she can be a model, she can be an ambassador, she can do it all. Miss New York is possibly the strongest candidate this year. One thing that I also really appreciated about her is the background. Now, she has the lengthiest description bio on the website, but I really like how they focused on the storytelling to really allow us to understand who she is as a person and also the journey that brought her here. She is a professional dancer since a very young age, and she showed exceptional talent to the point that she was offered a paid trainship, which is very hard to accomplish. However, she decided to decline it because her dream was to go and train in New York. So she moved all the way from her hometown, which was, very far away from New York, and she decided to go and pursue her dreams. She diversified her background, and now she is not only a professional dancer, but also an actress, a model, an advocate against SA. She has been featured in Vogue Paris, and with any opportunity that she gets, she focuses on working on her social cause, on her advocacy, and bringing more visibility to this sort of issues, which I think is so incredible. As a fun fact, I actually read somewhere in like the comment section of, when I was doing my research somewhere, they said that New York has not been in the Miss USA top 5 in many years. So in a way, if she manages to crack the top 5, at least she will already be making history. If she manages to win the entire pageant, then that's definitely one for the books. I think that she has the beauty, the background, and everything that it takes to make it happen. She also seems to be quite popular with the fandom, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her make it. So I think that it all depends of the performance and the closed door interviews during finals. So there you go, everyone. Let me know, how do you feel about Miss USA this year? Who are you rooting for? What are your expectations now that there's a new management, new network, new head organization? Everything has changed, so I'm really looking forward to read your comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this one almost every single day, and I will see you on the next one with more videos. So if you want to watch more content about Miss Universe, just click on this video right here. See you on the next one.